Oh man. Good morning. Welcome back to GP Outdoors. I love this time of year. The forests literally explode with color. It's really pretty. It's not the only thing that explodes this time of year. We're not long for winter, and I got a lot of chores to get done before the snow flies. So today, we got a couple of things I want to get off the plate while the sun's high. I got to get this property seeded. I'm a couple weeks late, to be honest, but better late than never. I've put a lot of time and effort since I got my tractor into fixing this property up, and I just want to keep it going. We're also right around the corner from hunting season. That's the other thing that explodes this time of year. Every single year, hunting season comes along, and I go through the same experience every single year. Despite the fact that we've got probably 8 or 9 different no trespassing signs or private property signs down that driveway and on the outside at the concession, people still, I guess, seem to think it's okay to trespass in here to hunt. Now, you know, on the channel, I don't like to espouse opinions. I try to keep the drama out and all those good things. I don't talk about political issues. And I generally have no opinion on hunting. People like to hunt, totally fine. I actually have never been hunting. But what is very unsettling is sitting in your living room in the morning, early morning, having a coffee and hearing the explosion of gunfire that sounds like it's literally right behind your cabin. Very unsettling, especially when my children are here. And that happens every single year, at least once, if not more times. And sure enough, you know, after you get over that initial shock, you know, you tell the kids to hit the floor, you eventually kind of peek out a little bit, get on the ATV and scoot up the driveway, and sure enough, especially with the snow that falls, you eventually find footprints coming from off of the concession road, partway down the driveway, and then they exit into my forest. Every year. I can never find them, but I see them. And more importantly, I hear them. As many of you know, my cottage is sitting right at the very end at the bottom of the forest, a mile off of the concession. And at least in early hunting season, you can't see the cabin here. And I honestly don't know if people who are trespassing actually know I'm here or my kids are here, because they never come in across the lake, of course. They come in from the concession road. So last year, for the first time, I finally decided I needed to call the police. I just needed to understand how things work, because I don't know much about hunting. Found out a few fun facts that you may or may not know. When I called our provincial police here in Ontario, it turns out that the police forces, municipal or provincial, don't police hunting complaints or hunting infractions. I didn't realize it, but it's actually a provincial government agency, our Ministry of Natural Resources, that enforces all the hunting laws. So I called our ministry, learned a few things I didn't know. She went through over a number of kind of the general laws around hunting. And absolutely, yes, they're trespassing, they shouldn't be here, which is, you know, I kind of expected. What she did ask me, though, is she said, have you marked the boundaries of your property? And I said, well, I've got no trespassing signs up, etc. And she said, but have you put a red dot on your trees? A red dot. And she explained to me that apparently a red circle at least 4 inches in diameter marked around the boundaries is kind of a universal sign everywhere for hunters to know that they're not allowed to enter or to hunt beyond those marks. And she said that was a very important part of enforcement. So I've got my red paint. And my neighbor Guy was nice enough to make me a template out of some old plenum that I can use on the trunks of the trees around the property. So we're going to go for a walk today. That's a pretty handy template Guy made. I haven't been back here for a little while, but geez, the beavers have been extra busy this year. Look at that. The only trouble is they're kind of like spikes. I'll tell you, it's another reason, really good reason, why I paid to get those surveyors out, because I don't head up into this part of my property very often. And I'll tell you, it sure looks different at different times of the year. I can't for the life of me find my stakes. I've been looking around. Oh, hang on. There we go. Boy, I'll tell you, you often get so disoriented when you're out in the forest here. There's a stake there, trees marked. Geez, I was way off. Anyways, all good. Let's get her done. Funny thing, a subscriber told me this might happen. I've got the agitator in here. You're supposed to only use it when you've got light materials, like grass seed. I can kind of reach it. Guess we'll have to drive with this up. I assume I'm allowed to. I guess we'll find out. Definitely gonna have to thank my neighbor Guy. This made it super easy, making this little template. Neighbor Bob says this is the most critical part of the process, which a lot of people don't do. You spend a whole bunch of money on a nice, really good quality triple mix of grass, you drop it down, and then you wait for rain, and you expect that the lawn's going to flourish. However, what you often find, which I have in the past myself, is that come the next morning, you know, every crow, raven, and other bird species is hanging out on your front lawn eating your seed. You got to get a harrow, and you have to harrow the seed in, for sure. You spent that money on it, take the extra step. It doesn't take long, especially if you have a tractor. I think that'll do it. Anybody getting any further from here, you should be able to see or at least know the cottage is just on the other side of that crest. Oh, that should do it. Like I said, I got no problem with people who like to hunt. Just don't hunt here, please. So I thought I'd take a second out just to talk to you about the grass seed I'm using today, because I had so many questions about what the mix was and what the brand was last year. This is neighbor Bob's favorite mix. Now neighbor Bob has a beautiful vegetable garden, and yeah, he somehow found soil between the rocks. He also has a beautiful flower garden, and he's got gorgeous grass. Now of course, being born and raised in Saskatchewan, Canada, I imagine he probably learned how to grow a thing or two. But he gets this from an agricultural supply place. I can't remember what the name of it is, Agri-Co-op or Agri-Supply. I think it's down in Whitby, Ontario. Graham's Seeds Limited, or Turf Seed. Many people wanted to know, there's 3 different types of seed in here. 39% Kentucky Bluegrass, 40% Creeping Red Fescue, and 30% Riptide Perennial Ryegrass. That's the mix in this bag. Works great. After I started using it 2 years ago, incredible growth. Bobby knows his stuff. Working out well. Doing this part of the job takes a long time, so I'm not gonna, let you watch me for another hour, hour and a half. I think you get the idea. And it's working. You just have to go really slow with the harrow. And of course, this is a pretty tiny harrow. It's actually Bobby's. He uses it on the back of his ATV. But it'll take a little while. You have to just keep making passes and often cross the pass that you've made, because it takes a little while to try to get, at least a good part of your lawn dug up a little bit to allow that seed to take, and to hopefully hide it from the birds. Well, I hope you enjoyed it today. I appreciate you sticking around. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit the like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting more videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful and safe week with your families. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.